We'll talk about that.
Yeah, because y'all are going to turkey hunt, and I'm going to listen a lot.
No, you won't. You'll get on your fucking phone like you always do.
P. Diddy.
P. Diddy.
That's right.
I got to end these trumpet calls, man.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver, and this podcast is brought to you by Dirty Duck Coffee. Are you doing the iced coffee yet?
I have started the iced coffee.
You have started?
I have. Okay. I'll have some today.
Did you 100%. Have some cold coffee or warm coffee on Saturday?
Yeah.
It was cold Saturday.
Well, my cold coffee is in the afternoon.
Okay.
3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, 3:30, depending on what I got going on.
How cold was it turkey hunting there, Dave? Was it in the low 40s?
It was, yeah, the wind was what made it bad. It was like 20 miles an hour out of the north. And I had a poor guy from Florida, and he had on pants that you would wear when it's 95 degrees outside. So he got a little chilly.
Poor guy.
And it ain't like, it ain't like waterfowl hunting where you can get up, walk around or anything. Like when you sit, like it's just, you're there, especially when birds have got one. So
before we get into
hard
this,
to warm up.
I'm going to tell Dylan happy birthday. Our granddaughter turns 10 years old today.
That's nice of you.
Boy, her grandma's getting old. I can tell you that much for sure.
Did you ever think you'd be sleeping with such an old lady?
No, honestly, no, I did not. But as you get older, your eyes change. So as you get older, an old woman becomes more attractive than she was when you were younger.
I've wondered about that. Introduce our guest and we can talk about it all.
Speaking of old people, my good friend, a man I really enjoy being around.
Jamie Johnson.
Nashville recording artist, Mr. Jamie Johnson.
How's it going?
Doing good. Dang, that was a fun weekend, wasn't it?
Can you sing for us, Mr. Johnson? No, my voice is going out.
Well, got a little laryngitis.
When you told that guy that. For people,
take a little break.
For people that aren't on YouTube, Stacey Coker is with us today, and he looks like Jamie Johnson, and we were in Nashville a couple months ago.
Go to Spotify if you want to see him. It's on Spotify.
And guy asked him to come on stage to speak, and he's like, well, I'm having a little problems with my voice. That's why I'm not touring right now. Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Johnson. Well, here's a complimentary bottle of bourbon for you. It was a good weekend.
Bullet bourbon.
Brought us a bottle of Bullet.
Yep. Very good weekend. Very, very good weekend. That guy cleaned up on tips, though, so he can pay for that bourbon.
Oh, he did.
He probably made $600 to $1,000 that night just off our table.
Well, I mean, that trip to the table right there, I think he made about $480 or something like that with that bottle.
Yeah, he was a good dude. That was a great time.
He's a good kid.
Did you get your passport yet? Nope.
Not yet. I've been turkey hunting, man.
I don't understand y'all's fascinations with turkeys. We talked about this before, so we're going to talk about it on air now.
What did you said there's a cult following? What were you about to tell us?
Yeah, you're talking about decoys. There's a sub species of turkey hunter in Alabama. They refuse to use decoys. I mean,
yeah,
and they will not use decoy. You got to fool him with a turkey call, or you're just not going to kill him. They feel like that if you use a decoy, you're cheating.
Right.
And they about suck me in there with them.
See, for me, I feel like you have more control of where he's going to come out, if that makes sense. So like with clients, if I can set decoys and I can be like, okay, set up for a shot right here at the decoy. You don't have as many variables as if he comes out too far to the right or to the left or behind you. Like if he's coming and gets on that decoy, it's a little bit more consistency from the client side of, hey,
absolutely,
be ready for it right there.
Everybody does not know how to look for a turkey.
Right. Yeah, it's hard.
And you're not going to see that big old black ball with a fan coming through the woods at you right there through, as y'all's case, through cactus and brush.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking for something the size of a Tweety bird jumping around in a bush, just that little head movement.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So
crazy.
that's
It's
where the
crazy
decoy comes into play.
it's crazy how hard it is to see a turkey. You'd figure he's all fucking puffed up and big old red head and he's black coming through there. You figure he'd stick out like anything, but like a lot of times you're like, oh shit, there he is.
Stand there and look at you for 45 minutes and they'll never move.
Mm-hmm.
As the non-turkey hunter in this conversation, when did they start using decoys for turkeys?
Fuck, I don't know.
Man, I think guys started, using stuffers, and then the market picked up and people seen a place to make money, but it's probably been, I remember when it was outlawed in Alabama.
What was it? B-Mobile was the first one, I think. Probably.
Them old phone decoys and stuff.
Well,
when it got popular.
You can look back and you can find duck decoys that the Inca Indians used back in the 1400s. I mean, I wondered.
That's what a guy tells me. Buddy of mine told me. He said, you bet your ass them Indians used a daggum turkey fan. I said, yeah, but they wasn't shooting TSS like I'm shooting either.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But I've got too much waterfowl hunter in me. I like to throw out a big spread when I can.
It makes sense. I like it too. And I like it too.
There's nothing cooler than when that bird's finally had enough and that you see his head change colors and he's like, all right, I'm going to whip some fucking ass.
They'll actually change colors, their heads?
Yeah.
No shit.
God damn,
I've never turkey. You took me one time. It was a terrible experience.
Yeah.
I tell you what I've got hooked on too this year is a trumpet call.
Really?
I'm 90% trumpet now.
What's a trumpet call? The wing bone?
Chord like, yeah, but it's a little trumpet. You sing them at the NWTF. They're little, here's one.
Oh, I'll be damned. Huh?
Yeah.
Kind of like a
wing bone. Got a little flare at the end.
Yeah.
Blow that son bitch real quick.
Is it loud?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They like it.
I might have to get me one of those for next year. When we go to NWTF. Trevor and Alex need to make some of those. Get on that, boys.
You got a guy bringing you a decoy now.
Oh.
Trevor and Alex, they're good at making. They're good designing. They're going to come out with a new spec call this year.
Yeah.
We've talked about that
Spoiler
a little
alert.
bit.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to every year to stay relevant, don't you? You got to come up with something new every year.
I'm not in the loop on the secret society you guys are on with them. So.
That's what you have to, though.
Hell yeah. If you don't come up with something new every year, you're going to get cast to the side.
Yeah. It's hard to reinvent the wheel every year.
What shocks me is the people that buy new calls every year. If you'd have told me 30 years ago that you could have that many duck call companies out there that are making calls, I thought, man, them guys ain't ever gonna make no money. People buy calls like crazy. Every year they buy. My new guides get all the new calls every year, and it just blows my mind that they do that stuff.
And here's the thing, they hear a pro blowing them, and he can take that one of them old Primos calls that, you see at Walmart and make it sound great.
Yeah.
A good caller can take a cheap call and make it sound real good. But they hear that and that's the one I need. Mm-hmm. I got to have that one.
Yeah.
And it's just, you just got to practice with the calls you got and master them.
I had a bird this morning, and I think he saw my decoys because he gobbled several times close and he didn't come in. And I don't know. I think I think it cost me. I think my decoys cost me this morning. Had that decoy not been there, he might have come out into the clearing.
Now that we're done with clients and it's just you hunting on your own, Andy, you're going to hunt all the time, right?
I don't know.
You actually enjoy it that much, though.
I enjoy it, but I can't do a podcast. I've figured that out. Like I turkey hunted this morning, got my ass kicked, and now I'm in a funk.
So tomorrow you don't have a podcast tomorrow, so you'll go hunt in the morning.
It's gonna be windy in the morning.
Oh, God damn.
It's no fun if it's no fucking fun to hunt if it's 30-mile-an-hour winds.
So thunderstorms all week. So I'm assuming it's gonna be windy all week long.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably not turkey hunting this week if the wind stays high.
Okay, Stacey, I got a swamp question for you since you hunt down there in them swamps. How many snakes have you ran into this year?
Let's see. Well, I had one on video the other day. That and as far as I know, somebody's still laying there. it never moved. Just kept looking at me.
Fuck, I would have left.
When I was in Texas, I seen a rattlesnake.
I'd been left.
That's about it. I've just seen 2. Now I've had a lot of ticks.
Where'd you post this at? The snake?
On Instagram.
On my personal Facebook. It wasn't a poisonous snake. It just one of them that make you hurt yourself.
Oh,
fucking rattle cobra. So it looked like it was 14 foot long.
It was it looked like a black racer or something like that, but it was about 4.5, 5 foot long.
Where was he in relation to you?
He was I was set down at a stump, and he was about 4 foot out from my left boot.
I couldn't have done it.
And he just had his head laying up on that log looking at me.
Did you? Did you move him?
No, I had a bird gobbling.
Oh, Jesus.
There's no way I could have done that shit. He just sat there and watched he'd put on the snake and then do the snake. And I'm thinking, my thing is, I would have looked away and then that snake would have been gone. I'd like, fuck that. I got to go now. I don't know where this bitch is at.
Yeah, bastard slipped under me.
Yeah, fuck that.
Have you seen the video?
But yeah.
The video of the guy that's at the tree stump and the damn rattlesnake, he sleeps and he has a camera on him. He falls asleep. Somebody crawls right across his leg, about a 5 foot rattlesnake. Hell no.
That would horrify me.
Oh, me too.
Oh, here it is.
I just don't know if I could sit there and maintain.
No, that guy was asleep though. He didn't know until he got home and checked his game cam.
See?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, that's like you got a lot of leaves on the ground. We don't have that here.
Yeah, they have trees.
Yeah, we don't have those trees that y'all have.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Just chilling. Did you get the bird?
Yeah. Yeah, killed him, but I wound up having to take off from there and get down the ridge and cut him off. And then I had to wait about another 30 minutes. He bred, evidently is breeding some hens, and he come wandering up.
See, I always have a hard time. I don't know if I don't go far enough or if I go too far. Whenever I'm trying to cut these fucking birds off, it never works out. Never.
These old guys that taught me that it's just, if he got, like these old timers say, if he gobbles at you, well, he knows where you are. If he cuts you off,
yeah,
even though he's got some hens, they'll be patient. And I'll try to do that myself. Be patient. Let him get done with those hens. Then in about an hour or so, he'll come back looking for you.
Huh.
And he'll come back right in there and gobble again, or just come wandering straight up to you.
I guess I'm too aggressive.
That's the way. Well, that's a boring way to hunt. These running gun guys, but they want a hot bird. But hell, I can't leave a bird to go hunt a bird.
Right.
If I know he's in there.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't ask you, Jeff, when that little scuffle went down out there in the middle of the street, y'all had my back there, didn't you?
Yeah. Went back to find out where you were at.
Hell, I know you did. That was pretty good right there.
You were right in the middle of all that stuff.
That woke me up right there.
Those cops didn't want nothing to do with that.
No. But they were cool. I figured they'd come in there kind of hot and heavy and spraying mace and every damn thing, but they come in there. I guess they see it all the time, every night.
Well, hell, they had a fucking chair almost fall on their head a month later from Morgan Wallen.
They don't want to have to do paperwork, and I don't blame them, because all the bullshit, it's not like it was 50 or 20 years ago even. They got to do all these fucking incident reports. If you're drunk, nobody's got hurt, go separate ways.
Right.
No sense jacking with you. Have you been to New Orleans lately?
It's been a couple years.
I would like to see how. I've heard it's really gotten bad there at nighttime, like really, really, really bad.
I've drove through there on my way to Venice fishing, and man, there's under the interstate. There's all kind of little tent villages and people hiding. Oh yeah, it's just, and you got guys that go down there and looking for damn trouble.
Yeah, I don't get it.
But it's nasty.
If you were homeless, I'm gonna ask both of you guys this: if you were homeless, where would you live in America if you were homeless? If you had a choice,
Key West,
to go anywhere you don't. Why Key West?
It's the southernmost tip on continental U.S.
Well, that'd be a long walk across 7 Mile Bridge, but that's.
I sure wouldn't want to be in Chicago, like Chicago and New York, as cold as it gets there. Hell, I want to be somewhere that I can survive, and it'd probably be in the southeast.
Good fishing, all sorts of stuff. Now Now, do I have to be homeless?
You're homeless. I'm asking you right now if you had to.
I couldn't get a job on like a dock cleaning fish or something.
Well, most motherfuckers don't want to work that are homeless. I don't think.
Well, like you got to set these parameters. Like, am I homeless and not looking for a job, or am I homeless and looking for a job?
You're homeless and not looking for a job. You just want to be a bum on the street.
Key West,
where you choose. I see places all the time, and I'm like, why the fuck would you be homeless? And this is where you choose to be at. Like New York City does not seem like a good place to be homeless at. Or Chicago. Anywhere fucking cold would be out.
Yep.
California, I understand why everybody wants to be homeless out there.
Yeah.
Because the state's going to give you shit anyways. But me and Michelle were somewhere the other day, and there was a homeless person, and I told her, I said, I know, we was in Abilene, Texas, and we saw some homeless people. And I was like, I don't get that. If I'm homeless, my ass is going to go sleep in an alley in a nice neighborhood. Because at least there you can get some fucking sleep maybe, and you don't have to worry about somebody hurting you.
Do the cops not run you off in the nice neighborhood though?
You got just as much right to be in that alley as you do under a bridge in town. It's public property. But I mean, that's where if I was a homeless person, I would want to find me a wealthy neighborhood that I could go just live in the fucking park somewhere. Not a city park, but in some woods right by there where you're safe at least.
Let me tell you, I almost had a heart attack this morning. It wasn't to a homeless guy. It was to a homeless fucking cat. I was walking around my truck to get in this morning to go hunt, and that son of a bitch was sleeping on top of my back tire. And when I come around the truck, he comes out of the truck, and good thing I didn't have a gun on me then.
Cats have scared me to death. I've gone out there to my shed at night, come in late and go get feed the dogs, and open the door there and surprise one. I mean, they're just running all over every damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hey, you think that some bitches eat everybody in the world but you, and he's come to get your ass.
But he did. I kind of came around and I saw something, piecing it all back together. It was his head sticking out, and that motherfucker bolted, and I jumped, and he jumped, and hell, I'm surprised I didn't wake everybody in the whole neighborhood up. He scared the shit out of me.
My dumpster across the street from me, I threw a trash bag in it one night, and that fucking cat, as it went in, the cat came out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I thought Sasquatch had my ass.
You wouldn't figure a little
scared
8-pound cat
shit out of him. Like, what the fuck?
What the hell have I gotten into?
It's like stepping on a snake in the middle of the yard at night barefoot. Ooh, that'll make you hurt yourself.
I don't like snakes.
So, Stacey, how would you classify or rate your specklebelly season and your snow goose season at the end of the year, the conservation season?
My specklebelly goose season was, to me, by far one of the best that I've ever had. We wound up killing 4,625 birds. That's pretty good. That's pretty good year. Yeah. That was including snow geese. Mm-hmm. But I had a good season, even though we all agreed we didn't have as many specks as we've had in the past. I think a lot of them stayed up around St. Louis on us. Mm-hmm. But I had a good season. It was a good season for me.
What about your conservation?
And we wound up killing 10 bands this year. I killed I killed a hybrid goose. It was a speck snow goose cross. And then we killed that about a week and a half later. We killed that leucistic or piebald speck. Mm-hmm. And so hell yeah, this year was a great year for geese for me.
And then you killed one Canada, and that son of a bitch was banded.
Yeah, it was a cackler or a Richardson, and that was the first bird we killed, and it had a band.
One of one.
It's just, and the only one we killed this year.
Did they used to kill Canadas there years ago?
Yeah, on that Mississippi River they did. Because they sure did. They used to kill them pretty good.
I read a book by, what's the famous waterfowl writer? Can't think of his fucking name right now. Not Gordon McQuarrie. What was his name? Anyways, whoever it is, he wrote, and he used to write a lot in the early 1900s, and a lot of it was on the Mississippi and the Oxbows. And one of his deals was Nash Buckingham talks about.
Yeah, that's right.
Shooting.
He hunted, Nash Buckingham hunted at Beaver Dam.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beaver Dam right there in Tunica, Mississippi.
And he talks about shooting Canada geese and the duck holes. And what I tell you what really I like about his writing is how cold it was then. Now, they didn't have very good gear, so it was colder than it is now, or it seemed to be a whole lot colder than it is probably a lot of days. But talks a lot about the iced over stuff, and talks about getting on a train and the servants in there, not slaves, servants. And just, it was really interesting. He's a great read. But he talked about shooting a lot of Canadas down there.
Well, my daddy talked about how cold it was when he was a kid. And he said that snow would blow through the cracks of the house.
Mm. Yeah, when you see them pictures, the old, like the Dust Bowl days, those houses those people lived in, you can see right through the damn walls and shit. And there's no wonder there's dust everywhere inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible way to live.
Heck yeah.
I saw a video today that was like, next time you're in a hot shower, be grateful. Like that's a new invention.
Yeah. What have y'all heard on are they going to reduce any numbers on y'all? Have y'all heard anything like that?
We got an increase.
Specs, yeah. 5 specs.
I know you got an increase on specs, but there's always rumors every year, the state's going to do this, do that. But doesn't it take a couple of years before they announce something?
I can tell you what's coming. I can tell you what's coming down the pipe for you guys in Arkansas. You're not going to
lay it on.
You're not going to like what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you right now that the conservation snow goose season is going to end in the next 3 to 5 years.
Really?
That's what Texas has done. And they said they only needed one state to be a catalyst to start the whole thing, and it was Texas, which Texas really is not a player in it because we don't have the snow geese we had 20 years ago because all the grounds around Katy, that area down there don't hold the snow geese. I mean, there's going to be that one guy's going to message me. We still got snow geese. You don't have snow geese like you did 20 years ago. Everybody knows that. We used to winter about 3 million birds on the coast, and now I think that they're maybe 700,000 to 1 million now at the most ever down there. But they've done away with it, and they said there's 8 other states that are in line to do the same thing. And I think they're going to just nationwide cancel the whole thing in the next 3 to 5 years.
Do they feel like they're not a nuisance bird anymore?
They're not. Made no difference. It's made no difference on the nesting.
Okay.
I don't think they've done anything to diminish the numbers. And that doesn't make sense because let's just say 20,000 birds get killed during spring snow goose season. And that number's probably way off. It's probably a lot more than that.
Just for a round number.
But just 20,000. Well, still you're taking 20,000 birds off the tundra. But I don't know. I know there's a group of people out there that are against it, and there's a group of people that are for it.
I just know, and it's the same way, we were talking about turkey decoys. There's so much money backing it. I mean, dadgum, I think if Arkansas, it keeps people coming into Arkansas for another month or so.
Yeah, but how many of our politicians now are non-hunters? They don't care. I mean, here's another. This is an example. Has nothing to do with hunting, but Biden just canceled all the drilling in Alaska. That's a bunch of money. That's big money. Not compared to fucking hunting money. That's huge money. That doesn't even play a factor in what they're doing. And so I don't think that the dollars really mean that much to the state like we think they should because they don't appreciate them. Kind of like Canada with the COVID shit, and they kept the hunters out for a couple of years. Those little towns were starved to death. They needed that money, but the state or the provinces didn't care. And I think that's one of our issues we're going to be dealing with in the future with hunting. Is the hunting dollars really that important to the non-hunter?
Shoot, I guess I just thought there's enough money behind it for decoy sales and revenue that's brought into a state when out-of-state hunters come in that it'd kind of be safe. But you may be right.
Look at Kansas. Kansas is doing away with letting out-of-state hunters hunt public property in some places.
Yeah.
Arkansas, you can't hunt.
Limited 30 days.
So they don't really care about the out-of-state dollars.
Yeah.
So do they really care about the conservation season? I agree with you. A community like Stuttgart, that's a big boom to them, to the spring snow goose hunting. And a lot of other places up there, a lot of them other little towns.
Like that little town in Brinkley, Arkansas, where we're located. I mean, my God, there's some guys that it's make or break for them for during waterfowl season. Mm-hmm. That carries them the whole year. A lot of guys are like that down there. A lot of companies.
The state of Texas, I don't know how much money they come in off of hunting, but little town like Knox City where we are, we're a big part of the economy for our town during hunting season. If they closed us down and we weren't hunting there, the people in town wouldn't give two shits, and they wouldn't care. It wouldn't bother them because they don't realize it. Now, the guy who owns the convenience store, he would notice it. The grocery store would notice it, but
Cisco would notice it. The grocery store would notice it because, like you and I were talking about, we're sitting there in Nashville. We're not running as many people through as you guys are, and hell, we're still spending $1,000 a day on food, $1,000 a day in fuel.
Yeah.
On everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff adds up for all them little small towns. But
heck yeah,
but those politicians don't care. And if it's a federal deal that ends up happening when they do away with it, it's going to take away the states anyways, because the federal government regulates all waterfowl hunting. They just let the states pick and choose. And Texas was the first one to opt out because of the state of Texas, and I think some other states are. But I think in 3 to 5 years, you're going to see the snow goose conservation season go completely away. I really do. What do you think, Andy?
I don't know. I mean, the bastards take any chance they can to kick us a little bit more.
Yeah, and
I don't know.
That's big business for Arkansas, Nebraska, Missouri, the Dakotas, some of them states. Some places aren't affected by it.
You would figure, like to Jeff's point, like it doesn't move the needle in Texas just because it's not the snow goose mecca that it used to be. I feel like Arkansas, with it being what it is there and some of these other states, that the lawmakers would not do it. Like Sarah Huckabee, I mean, she seems like she knows, she's pretty in tune with what's going on.
Ask me. I think they feel like it brings so much revenue into the state, like Arkansas and Missouri.
Yes.
Because they're wintering with us now.
Right.
Where they used to be wintering on the coast, now they're stopping. They're stopping short and wintering there. But it just brings such a big revenue in. But
yeah, I agree with you on everything y'all both have said.
I just think it's such a way of life there. You've got the famous Stuttgart area, and I feel like it's just such a rich history and heritage in that area that Arkansas will be the last one.
New history.
Well, and you got the farmers that
Stuttgart's always.
I mean, that's not their only income, but I mean, hell, we've sent a few kids to college from paying leases on land.
Right.
And when you're not, a lot of the land we lease is for snow goose hunting or spec hunting.
I agree with you guys.
They cut that out
100%, but I don't think the economy, the money factor is there like you think it is, because you get into all them government agencies doing stuff and they don't really care.
Sarah Huckabee's a hunter, though.
I'm not talking about Sarah Huckabee. I think the federal government is going to shut it down, and it's not going to have anything to do with the states. Oh yeah, it is too. It's going to be the feds.
Now you're talking kooky.
You don't think the federal government is going to? That's who's going to do it. They're anti-hunters you can get. So, and
it's going to be a states' rights issue.
We got to get Donald in there.
No, it's not going to be states deals. It's going to be the federal government. They control
all
the water.
Federal government didn't say anything with Texas doing away with it.
They did not. They pushed for it.
How do you know?
Because I talked to a couple of people that are involved. That's where it's coming from.
The
federal government is part of the big push to shut this down.
I think you're in left field.
That's who come the cat. They needed a state to do it. They're wanting to do away with this. I'm telling you right now, the federal government wants to do away with this shit.
Why does
the federal government don't want you hunting anymore anywhere? Just this new shit they signed the other day with this Bureau of Land Management's going to start affecting all the big game hunting in the western part of the United States. The federal government is not for hunters. Let's wake up right now. If you're listening to this and you think the federal government gives two shits about your hunting rights, you're wrong. There may be a few people in government that want to see you hunt, but the federal government as a whole does not care two shits about you hunting.
But I don't think that they're actively sabotaging us.
I don't think they're actively sabotaging, but there's a plan in place.
But you just said that they're the ones that are pushing this.
They are. They behind the scenes are trying to close down the.
You're talking out of both sides of your mouth here.
No, what did I say?
Because one time you're saying that they're not actively trying to sabotage you. Then the next you're saying that they're the ones that are actively pushing Texas to cancel the conservation order.
Behind the scenes, the federal government is involved. They're not.
I can't make sense.
Okay. The federal government is not openly lobbying to shut down the spring snow goose hunting, I don't think. Behind the scenes, they were pushing for the state of Texas to drop it behind the scenes. Eventually, they're going to get behind it and cancel it the whole way. There's states like Governor Huckabee that probably does like the hunters, but it's not that big income. What the income we think that it makes a big thing what would be more to Arkansas, bringing in them solar panels they're bringing in, or keeping snow goose hunting? The solar panels is a lot more money.
They're covering us up, those solar panels.
That's where the money's at. That's what the government's more worried about is them solar panels than they are some conservation snow goose hunting.
They have took some good dirt. They have bought good hunting dirt and put solar panels on it.
Somebody told me
acres and acres and acres.
They're paying $1,000 an acre. So if you own a 160-acre farm, you're going to get $160,000 per year. Well, fuck, you can't blame very many farmers for doing that shit. Now, what was you going to say, Andy? I know you're going to try to
I've got the number here.
Okay,
no, I'm not going to try to dismantle you. It's just a little bonus. Did you know?
Okay.
Don't look at my screen.
I can't read that far anyways.
Okay. How much money do you think hunting brings into the state of Arkansas every year?
You talking about the trickle-down effect from hotels, everything, or just licensing sales?
It just says, I got a number here. I don't know what it entails.
I'm going to say $500 million.
Stacey, do you have a crack at this? Jeff's low.
Wow.
Is he?
Jeff's low.
100 million?
I said 500 million.
Oh, did you? Shoot. Is it $1 billion?
$3 billion.
Now that's counting leases, land, or that's the whole the whole thing. The whole
this is
enchilada.
according to KATV ABC number 7 on your side.
How do you turn away $3 billion?
Says modern gun deer season kicked off on Saturday, helping to drive revenue for state and local communities. Arkansas Game and Fish noted that hunting in the state brings in $3 billion every year. David Farrell, owner of anyway.
They say a dollar rolls 7 times in a community when it's brought into a community. So
and that fella that owns Max Prairie Wings, that's a big turned into a big outfit, and he's pretty well connected. I would figure in the government, state government.
Are we talking Chuck Locke? Is he the owner or just that runs the place?
Shoot, I don't even know, but that has turned into such a huge business.
Yeah.
Well, $3 billion, if it's turned over 7 times, would be shit. I can't even do the math that much. It's $400 million is what it would be if that was the actual dollars taken just back and forth. But that doesn't surprise me. But how much money is that solar farm going to bring into the state? That's what I'm saying. We think of $3 billion as a shitload of money, but if it's spread out over the whole state and little towns got 20,000 here and 25,000 here, and then you turn it over 7 times, it adds up pretty quick. But how much money is the solar farms coming in, these wind farms? And I
wonder what's going to happen one of those solar farms out there when one of them tornadoes comes through there.
They it's somewhere down by Houston, Texas. A hailstorm wiped out 100 or 200 acres of solar farms the other day. And I mean, I guess they'll have to fix them and stuff. Hell, they're having to put new generators on all the wind farms out here at one of the big wind deals. Green energy is such a fake bullshit deal in the first place.
Says $5 billion for Texas.
Is what, the solar farms?
No,
the money
hunting.
That's a lot of big deer hunting ranches too.
Hunting and fishing combined is $14.4 billion. That's that's an article by Texas Parks and Wildlife in 2008.
In 2008?
Yeah.
I know with all those solar panels, our power bill has not gone down.
It's not going to. They don't. Andy had a saying one time. He said on here, and it makes lots of sense. And I hear it all the time. Once a government takes something from you, they never give it back.
No, and that's kind of my concern with the conservation order is what's going to be next, because they're always looking for the next. So, and I don't like seeing hunters. I hate to see opportunity getting taken away from them. Snow goose hunting in Texas does not move the needle for me. I've gone on maybe 5 my entire life here, so it's not a big loss for me. But I would just hate for another thing being taken away from hunters and having the opportunity taken away.
I mean, I'm willing to, personally willing to take concessions on limits of birds, reducing 1 or 2 here of this and that, but good grief.
Would you be okay if they said, like, you can shoot 30 during the conservation. What used to be unlimited, we'll give you 30 a day per person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See, I don't think that would even move the needle because most guys ain't shooting 30 a person anyways.
If they said 20. If they said 20 during conservation, you can kill, because that's what we can kill in regular seasons, 20 snows per person. And they said you can kill 20 per person. They've had a good day. They've shot a lot of bullets.
Oh,
yeah. They've had a good
How many
day.
times during the regular season did you shoot a limit of 20 snow geese per man per hunt?
Did not.
See,
did not. It's
you're,
tough.
okay. You're honest, and I would have guessed that too. I would have said probably 0, because that's just the way it is, and I understand that. Because even in our best days of shooting the little small Canada geese, if our limit would have been 20 birds a day, it would have been tough to shoot a limit. Now, there's days you could have done it pretty easy on the days that work real good, but it would be terrible for those birds. So 20 birds a day does not happen very often. People that buy snow goose hunts need to realize that, because there's so many of them that getting into this sport think everything's based on shooting that. Whatever you can shoot the most limit on is what you want to do. You don't shoot 20 snow geese a day very often. So if you went to the conservation hunts, how many times during the conservation hunt did you kill more than 20 birds per client?
Oh, never.
See? Same thing again too.
Never.
Really?
We never did. Now we had some good days.
Yeah.
But we never killed over 20 per person, ever.
Yeah, it's like 12 guys killing 240 birds. It don't happen. I mean, it just does not.
You put 10 guys up, that's 200 birds.
Yeah.
And the best day that I've ever had, and it was not during it wasn't during conservation. During regular season, we killed 147 one day. We was using mouth calls, and it was a foggy day. We got them in there, and it was glorious. But we, still wasn't 20 per person.
Right.
How many could we shoot in Saskatchewan? Was it 25?
I don't even remember.
We shot.
No, it wasn't that many.
We shot
I thought
a limit.
It was 15.
No, it was more than that. We shot more than that. If we did, we broke the law then. But anyways, whatever the limit was, we shot one day, and then the next day we shot pretty damn close to it. I'd never been on a hunt where we killed 100 light geese in a day, ever.
20,
and I think we shot 122 days in a row, right at it.
Yeah.
But that's an amazing hunt. I can't imagine shooting 300 or 400. I just can't imagine that.
I'm just, you don't do that often in a lifetime.
Right.
There's guys that do, say they do it all the time, but I don't ever see it.
They're damn liars.
You can get out there and shoot slip in there and shoot a roost or something and kill a bunch like that, but we never do that. Everything's a decoy bird.
Mm-hmm. What I've always thought was interesting is the government, when this conservation season started, it was to trim the number so it would make the nesting ground so much better. That's what it was all about. That's all you heard about when it first came out. And he was going to let you use electric calls, and you were going to do this and that. Well, now you can use electric calls in the fall in Canada, which I don't understand why Canada needs them. They're dumb as hell right then. That's the last place you should be able to use electric calls, because you shouldn't have problems killing them in the first place. But there's things that would work. I knew some guys that went to Arkansas, and there was a guy that had this electric glider, and he could push them flocks of snow geese, and people were shooting the shit out of them. Well, they arrested him for doing it, because you can't use a mechanical device to push birds and stuff. If you're wanting to kill the birds, you should be able to do whatever you want to kill them geese, if that's what if that's what the whole policy is about. But it's not. Or they would make that it would be legal to do whatever it takes to kill those birds.
Yeah, you'd think if they're wanting rid of them, they'd let you do whatever it takes.
I mean, if you want to kill them, get rid of the damn things. I don't know. Mother Nature has a way of taking care of its own more than anything else does. And I don't know what the answer is with this snow goose hunting. I have no idea. I don't think canceling the spring snow goose season is the answer. But I don't even know what the push would be for it if it doesn't make a difference. Because when we hunted them, I think it's crazy to shoot snow geese now. And them people they're going to hunt them for another month.
Yeah.
Oh, they're still, where are they at right now? They're above around Nebraska?
They're South Dakota right now. I saw North Dakota.
Yeah, somebody posted. Can't remember where they were though.
Our youngest son is in Alaska right now, and they still have snow on the ground. He told me, I talked to him last night. So there's still snow. Now, Alaska's a whole lot further than Saskatchewan, but I'm assuming there's got to be some still snow and stuff in Saskatchewan and Alberta. I mean, fuck, it was 40 degrees was the low here. Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, I talked to a guy from Ohio, and he said their water never locked up that they couldn't hunt.
Yeah. I don't doubt it.
In Ohio.
Hell, I think a lot of it was that way up into the Dakotas and Saskatchewan for the longest time, November and December.
But that's what people, that's what we're dictated by on our ducks, and y'all are too. Is if we don't get the weather, we don't get the ducks.
Right. Yeah.
But the geese are coming.
There shouldn't be no ice anywhere at all. Carrot River is 52, 32, 65, 37. So there shouldn't be the whole Canada, the prairies in Canada should be open right now. So I'm assuming they're shooting snow geese up there, but they shoot them clear into May. And
what if they've had enough rainfall and everything? They a couple of years ago they didn't have rainfall. They was in a drought.
They are now real bad, from what I understand. The nesting grounds are not very good for the ducks this year.
Oh, good. Another thing working against us.
Yeah, you never can put it all together anyways.
Never.
So it doesn't look like a good hatch for the ducks right now.
Then it'll probably be another mild winter with low duck numbers and always against us, seems like.
I think the duck numbers should go to 3.
To 3?
Nationwide. Just go to 3 ducks if the duck numbers are down.
Isn't that what it was? That's what it was in the 70s, isn't it?
Well, we had the point.
Well, 100
we had the
100 points.
We had the point system, but you could shoot 10 pintails. We could shoot 2.
Yeah, that's crazy.
10 green wing tails. And I grew up hunting all the times, and we shot a ton of ducks as a kid growing up. I don't remember ever shooting very many pintails. Now we duck hunted out here. Right where I live now, I grew up duck hunting out here. All these playas out here, I could duck hunt on as a kid, and I don't ever remember shooting a bunch of pintails. I remember shooting a bunch of mallards. Well, this picture behind me that you can see, but you can't see me, but behind me, there's a picture, and it's my dad, and it's taken around 1980, 81, and I think in that picture, there's over 50 mallards. And there's another picture that I need to get done. It's him and another guy who's passed away also, so they can't get arrested for it, I guess, now. And they've got 62 mallard drakes on the tailgate of a pickup, just the 2 of them shot one day. We killed a lot of mallards. We shot a lot of teal, but I do not remember us shooting a lot of pintails. We shot a lot of widgeons too. And we shot some canvasbacks. We shot 26 one day, but when I was a kid, but I don't remember ever shooting a lot of pintails, but we could kill 10. But they said back in the day, like in Port Lavaca and down on the Texas coast, them guys was just slaughtering the pintails when it was a 10 bird limit.
And the damn bluebills.
Yep.
I think that used to be a lot of guys bread and butter. Now they're down to 1 bird a day.
Yeah. So I don't have a problem if they went to 3 ducks, and all them outfitters in Arkansas or duck places that are duck outfitters, even in Oklahoma and some places that just shoot ducks. Those guys are crazy to think if the federal government said, hey, we're going to limit it to 3 ducks a day, that you're going to lose many customers. You may have some customers bitch and gripe and whine. People want to hunt. They'll go shoot 3 mallards and be happy, or 3 any ducks. They just want to hunt.
They do. And they want limits. But, it's just like this year. We got some guys that come from South Carolina every year, about 3 times a year. And that's all I ever hear out of them is ducks, 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 ducks. When we're going to kill some ducks. Well, they showed up and we had ducks, and we're duck hunting. And he says, hey, are we going to get to go shooting specklebellies? I said, damn it, Tim. I said, that's all I ever hear out of you is damn ducks. He said, well, we kind of like shooting them specklebellies now. I said, all right. So we went and got on them.
Make up your damn mind. What do you want from me?
But they want to shoot. They want to shoot. Is all they want to do is kill something. So if it's a 3 duck limit, that's going to be fine. But the mallard numbers are really coming way down, and nobody wants to talk about it. And
yeah, they don't want to talk. But that's down. The pintail numbers are down. But
we come close to not having a pintail season last year, like within 170,000 duck wise.
And it probably, you know what, it wouldn't hurt my feelings if they said 0 pintails for a year. Because, I mean, you're not making a bag out of the pintails.
Right.
That's a bonus bird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one duck.
And the guys, the public hunting guys in Arkansas, they're killing 4 birds. They're going after those 4 mallards, get those and get out. Mm-hmm. That's all they want to do. They want to see who can get there 4 the quickest.
Right.
And they don't shoot a pintail, they're not broke about it.
Right.
And I don't think my customers would be either. You know, they're coming for the experience. They want to kill birds because it's not an experience if you don't kill birds, if you don't kill stuff. But, you know, they do like the geese. And, you know, like I said, when we got the weather, we got the ducks. We got some good dirt for it. But I would go with 3.
I tell you what's always funny is I have the guy all the time, and bless her heart, and they'll be like, we kill something that's just a cherry on top. We don't care. It's just about being out here. I thought, that's not true. Because I ain't had one son of a bitch call me wanting to come and hang out here in June with us. Not one time.
We're out here every day.
Yeah. Come on out. You want to book 20 people at the lodge? We can feed you and do everything. We can sit outside together and visit. Nobody wants to do that shit.
We'll run it all just normal. I'll even set up a spread if you want.
So it is about killing, and that's why you're booking a hunt with me and other outfitters, and I understand that's what we're supposed to do. That's our job. But I don't think we'd have one drop off on sales if we went down to 3 ducks, if we were selling just duck hunts. Nationwide, I don't think nobody would complain. They'd be some complaining and bitching, but
you know, the captains were real mad in Louisiana this year down around Venice because, you know, I think their trout limits went from 32, 36 to 15. You know, they was screaming, you know, you're going to ruin our business. You know, people ain't going to come.
Shit.
Yeah, they are. Mm-hmm. How many you don't need to fill a freezer.
Right.
What?
Full of speckled trout.
What's the trout limit? 15 now, you said?
Yeah, I think it's about 15 now, and you can't kill a bull red. You can't keep a bull red and kill it. And I think they're going to go from 5 redfish to 3. I think that's their proposal.
What they got to do is those people have got to start realizing that you need to look down the road 10 years down. And the amount of outfitters that are fishing, because I don't know at Venice I've only been there one time, which was a phenomenal experience. But like on the Texas coast between Rockport and South Padre Island, 30 years ago, there was 50 people maybe guiding fishing trips. Now there's probably legitimately 1,500, you know?
Yeah, there's a pile of them.
And they're everywhere, and they're doing the same. They're fishing the same waters and doing. You got to give back some. I'm one of those guys. If I go on a guided fishing trip, I don't want to keep nothing anyways. I don't eat that much fish. I'd rather just throw them back anyways. But
I'm not going to fill my freezer.
But you do on your tuna trips.
Yeah, you know, you won't catch it. If you catch a tuna, you've had a good trip.
What's the biggest tuna you've caught so far off?
For me personally, it's been in the 80s.
That's a lot of fish.
You know, and I've caught ling. About a 42-pound ling is my biggest. You know, when I go to Venice, usually I'm chasing triple tail, but you know, I did catch it. I caught a swordfish last year. It weighed 277.2.
That's a lot of fish.
That was a tug right there. That was 4.5 hours of milk.
That does not sound fun at all.
Because I told him before I booked, I said, now look, I ain't sticking this rod in the rod holder for this, you know, swordfish trip. I said, I see all these videos. That's how people do them. I said, if I book with you, I said, I got to smell him. I got to see him. I got to taste him. And he put me in a harness, clipped me into the rod, and 4.5 hours later, we pulled it over the side. Mm. But I enjoyed it. I wouldn't do it no other way.
I'm assuming you like to eat swordfish because you got a lot of it to eat.
Oh, God, I'm sick of it right now.
What time did you hook
everybody comes by the house to visit. Hey, you want some swordfish?
It's like okra they give away here in the summer and squash.
Yeah, that shit's expensive. I know. Do you want some?
I'll give it to you.
I got some in the freezer here at work. You know, for us to eat here.
How many different ways can you cook a swordfish?
Man, I don't know. Most of the time I just sear them in a skillet.
Yeah.
But, you know, I guess you could do fish tacos. You could fry it up, make swordfish soup, swordfish burgers. I don't know.
Like I'm at Bubba Gump now with the shrimp.
Yeah.
What time did you hook this
But
thing?
Let's see. We caught 5 fish that day. So we hooked that fish about 2 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock. And matter of fact, there was 9 boats within sight of us when it got hooked. And time we got done, there was none around.
Everybody gone.
They had all done left. Yeah, they had all done gone in, and but that was a big fish. That was a big fish. That old boy won. He was in some kind of captain's tournament. He won $15,000 off that fish.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, that was the biggest fish caught out of there for the year.
Huh.
277.2.
4.5 hours. There ain't no way.
Yeah.
Me and Tony caught what did we catch? A wahoo or something at Puerto Adventurous, Mexico, and it weighed, I don't know, 100 pounds or something. We fought that some bitch for about 30 to 45 minutes. And that guy's like, oh, we put it on the boat and stuff. He's like, gonna put more down. I was like, no moss.
No moss.
I said, we want to catch small fish, catch little snappers and stuff. You sure? Fuck yeah, I'm sure. That's a jam job. There was nothing fun about that crap.
At 3.5 hours, I had that fish under the boat. We could see it. And he tried to spear it with that flying gaff. He tried to spear it down there, and he nicked it. It was a little bit deep. I think if we'd waited maybe just another minute or two, could have got it a little closer and stuck it. And it went back. It peeled off another 450 feet.
Really?
And worked it back. Oh, yeah. It turned and left. It was down. We could see it on the scanner there, and it was down around 450. Then I worked it back up. There was some kind of level right there at 240 feet that it liked being. It was comfortable. And I got it there. And anytime I got it above that, it got real uncomfortable. But the way we finally got it, he started coming up a little bit, and it started trying to get under the back of the boat. And he just put that big boat into a spin. And we were spinning out there, and just the water was white. And but finally got him in there close enough to kill. But the only thing is, swordfish is like catching a big old damn catfish or a stump. It's exciting at the beginning when you hook it. Then there's that big span in the middle, and it ain't worth a shit. It's just holding on. And then right at the end when they stick it and get it killed. Yeah. And then you're happy.
Did how deep were you fishing in the flower gardens? Is that where y'all were at?
It was 1,650 foot deep right there where we was at.
Wow.
And we were bumping the bottom right there. It's got a big long leader, probably 150 foot wind on leader. It's got a 10-pound weight right there at the front of it. And then to help it get down there, they take a piece of rebar about 2 foot long and all at least 1 inch thick and tape it and hook it to the bait. And then when it hits bottom, that rebar pops off. It just falls off of it, and then you're down there bumping the bottom. And that rascal, he's a dirty fish. Mm-hmm. When they get him into clean, they put the water hose to him in a broom, and you're just sitting there washing mud off of him because he lays down there.
He is just no trash fish, isn't he?
Yeah, just old carp, like a carp, catfish, just laying down there with his mouth open.
That is crazy. This could be.
So he was coming after your bait, though?
Oh yeah, he whacked it about 6 times.
Oh really? You felt it every time?
You could see the rod tip hit, and but he kept whacking it, and matter of fact, when we cleaned him, he had half the squid down in his belly, where he had sliced it with that bill. Mm-hmm. But that's what they attack with. They'll attack with that bill, and it had little flashing lights on there and up in line. But yeah, he whacked it in two, swallowed that, and then come back and got the rest of it, and that's when he got hooked.
Did you ever think I'm never gonna get this thing in the boat?
Oh, I did. My buddy, old Dusty, says, He said, fuck that. I'd cut the line.
I'm with,
About 30 minutes, all that shit I want.
I'm with Dusty on that one.
30 minutes is all I want of that shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know some guys that go out to try to catch big sharks. Same way. I mean, fuck, all you're doing is work your ass off. At least a swordfish is edible.
I just seen them cut my line when they hook a shark. But, there's technique to fighting that stuff. And, first time I went tuna fishing, man, we was sitting there and we was pumping, like you see on TV. You think you've seen on TV till you see a guy that does it every day and see how he fights it. And it's all with a straight arm. You just kind of you're using the big muscles in your back and your thighs. Mm-hmm. And they can kill a tuna in a little bit. But, guy that don't know how to fight one, he goes down there and tries to muscle it, and it wears your ass out.
Yeah. I think a lot of people watch that Wicked tuna and they get a false deal about how easy it is. They don't realize how.
Oh, that's ours.
Yeah, they don't see that. They say, it only took them 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. No, it didn't take them 5 minutes. It took 3 or 4 hours. You don't realize that, but you're catching a 600-700 pound tuna.
And they have the technique down, and it took them that long.
Oh yeah, they're chasing him, and they've got heavy enough line. They're not playing. They're out for money.
Yeah, and that's an interesting deal too, because the amount of money those tuna bring in is just absolutely incredible. But it's a lot of money to go try to catch them fish.
With gas?
Well, the cost of a boat, the equipment. I mean, you break a fishing rod, that's a lot of money.
Oh.
I mean, an $8,000 or $10,000 fish, some of those fish are, but hell, they got a lot of money tied up in it. There ain't none of them guys.
Speaking of eating fish.
Do what?
Speaking of eating fish, y'all ever catch any flathead catfish?
Not on purpose.
My God, that's the best eating fish I've ever had in my mouth.
Well, you come down here and there's a lake around here. It's got a bunch of them. You can catch all you want.
Flathead catfish?
I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's like
I was in Kentucky Lake. I was up around Aurora, Kentucky, turkey hunting. And those guys had ordered ahead some flathead catfish. Flathead catfish bellies are delicious. That flathead catfish belly meat is delicious.
I'm not a big catfish eating guy though. I would rather have other fish.
They're not a strong fishy tasting fish. You'd think he is ugly as he is, and in the mud, but he don't eat that kind of stuff. He's like a game fish. He's eating live brim and crappie and bass and stuff like that.
I like catfish.
Delicious.
Like a channel cat is thought of to be the better eating than a yellow cat is.
I don't know.
Well, you get a chance and get a hold of some flathead catfish and let me know how good they were.
All right.
My father-in-law is cooking calf fries today. He's so fucking excited.
Are you excited?
They're delicious. Did I tell you? When we went to Texas turkey hunting, down there around Pearsall, and that guy cooked me some calf fries.
Yeah.
And they were delicious.
Yeah. I've had them good and bad. The good ones I had are very, very good.
They're good.
The bad ones I had,
like chewing rubber,
not very good. I mean,
but
it's like that way on a goose or anything.
Joe Walgura. He's got some property down there, and he lets me turkey hunt. And but he's got a little restaurant there in town. He cooked up him calf fries, and he cooked up some turkey that we killed that morning. And hell, I wound up finishing up the calf fries. They were delicious. If they'd been the least bit runny, I'd have probably hurled everywhere.
He was also telling me about chicken, basically having rooster fries.
I've had turkey fries. And they were really good.
I've never had those before, but he said when he was in college, he was taking some animal science class, and they castrated a bunch of roosters and fried them up. And he said they were delicious.
Yeah, I've had turkey fries.
Really?
Turkey fries are really, really good. I had something the other day in Abilene, Texas, that I never thought I would say was the best of what I had. I had some calamari in Abilene, Texas. It was the best calamari I've ever had in my entire life. It was sweet chili. It was just little fried calamari strips, but they had a sweet chili sauce on them. They were excellent. As good a calamari as I've had anywhere, and I've eaten them on both coasts. I've eaten them everywhere. It was the best I've ever had, and it was crazy how good they were.
But yeah,
I've tried it. Yeah, it didn't. Calamari didn't blow my skirt up, but the calf fries did. But I don't have to try the turkey fries. Was it wild turkey?
I'm assuming not, because I went to a Super Bowl party and they had them, and I think they must have got them from somewhere like Cisco or Benny Keith or somewhere like that, because they had a fucking ton of them, and I can't imagine.
Next time, if I can kill another gobbler this year, I'm gonna check and see if they try to find them.
They're behind their wing. Well, they are on a chicken, like they're underneath their wing somewhere.
No shit.
Oh. Yeah.
I didn't know.
Are they down below the vent?
It's like, I just looked at a picture online. It's like right here behind their wing. He said they would make an incision behind their wing, and then they'd pull those testicles out, and then they'd have to suture it up, and they'd have to doctor that spot.
Really?
Yeah, it's like underneath their wing somehow. I was trying to find the anatomy of a turkey where their balls are.
I'm gonna find that. I know I've got now, my turkeys, I take the legs and thighs off in a crock. I'll save them up. When I get 2 or 3, then I'll put them in a crock pot with like onion soup mix and cover it in water and overnight. And then, man, it makes a fantastic, meat for a dressing, or makes a good barbecue.
Really?
That's what I brought in. I cooked 3 birds the other day. I cooked legs and thighs on 3 birds. And the next morning, hey, I'm on a conference call in here. Get out of here. I didn't know what a B227 is. I don't know.
He scared the shit out of me.
Go on. I'll talk to you later. Sorry about that.
You're good.
You scared the fuck out of me, though.
You gotta handle these people. You know what I mean?
What were we talking about? Turkey balls?
Yeah, turkey balls, and the way you cook 3 turkeys.
Turkey balls. Anyway, I cooked those 3 legs and thighs up, and that made a gallon of meat.
Really?
Right there. Yeah, that made a gallon.
Fuck.
And then I'll take the hide. The hide on up behind the wings, and on the shoulder blades on both sides back there. It's like cheeks on a grouper or something. And I'll cut out those 2 medallions, and they're white meat. And they're good.
Yeah, this says turkey testicles are also on their back in between their wings.
All right, I'm gonna look for.
Now you gotta go digging now.
And then I get
turkey fries.
That's the rocks out of their gizzard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like to save them right there on some of them. I'll date them. I think that was from last year.
That helps with their digestion, or what?
Yeah, and that that big old gizzard, if you'll cut into it with your knife, and ducks and geese, same way. That thing's full of gravel. That's how they digest the seeds. That grinds them up.
One of the last turkeys I killed that I cleaned, he was full of flowers, wild flowers.
Up there in that little pocket right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you pull that hard gizzard out, because, all them Cajuns that come hunting with us, they want everybody from Louisiana and everybody from Wisconsin want the hearts and the gizzards out of the geese and ducks.
Wisconsin, that's crazy, because we had a group last year from here and they wanted that shit. I guess that's a Wisconsin cheddarhead thing.
Yeah, they're the only ones I've ever seen that ask for the gizzards and the hearts.
How do you prepare those? If there's fucking rocks and shit in them, you cut them in half.
Out. My dad used to do it all the time.
You cut it open. There's like,
that big.
It's that turkey gizzard's that big around, and it's got a seam. You can cut it around that seam and open it up. It's got some pockets in there, and you scrape all that gravel out, and I just put it in a jar right there and save it. Some of them got little fossils in them. Sometimes some of them not, just damn rocks, but it's just something stupid to do.
My dad would eat the shit out of them gizzards. So he'd scrape those sand come out of them and wash them off and get all that stuff off of them. And
you get all that white membrane, like the geese, they'll get that. He'll have green where they've been eating green in there, mixed with that goose shit, I guess. And the rocks and gravel, because that's, you'll see them out there graveling. When you see them geese up on them dirt roads, and I know y'all got some gritty fields that there ain't no food in, but there's grit in it. You'll see them in there during the day, and they're eating that grit for their crop.
I told Andy the best baiting there is in the whole world is oyster shells.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't know.
Oh, they love the shit out of oyster shells.
You said something else too.
Chufas is the other one. Pea gravel, any kind of gravel.
Yeah.
But you get oyster shells. You grind them some bitches up and you throw them in a pond. The bottom of them, you'll have ducks all year long.
Well, listen to this. There was a guy. They was talking about in Mississippi. Some guys were talking, and some guy working for the state was hunting, and they busted him for hunting over crickets.
Crickets?
What?
Yeah, a guy running his farm. His farm went and bought 10,000 crickets and turned them loose like a few days before they were going to hunt. And the game warden seen it, got wind of it, and busted their ass for hunting over live crickets.
First of all, I don't know how. Well, once wintertime gets here, the crickets can be gone anyways. But
that's the spring. This is spring turkey. But I guess they go to one of these bait places or something, where they grow them.
Oh, any pet store.
He bought 10,000 crickets, turned them loose to bait the turkeys up.
I'd be damn.
Oh, huh.
I'd like to prove that them crickets are not natural.
I got fucking receipts, buddy.
Well, no. But I want the game warden to tell me that those aren't live, regular native crickets.
Let's look at your credit card.
Yeah, well, I mean, his guy's in trouble. He was damn sure knowing.
We have grasshoppers out the ass. I noticed yesterday when we were turkey hunting yesterday afternoon. Oh, fucking little bitty babies. I was walking through the grass and they just exploded.
They order like like you said, I've killed turkeys that had one time he was full of dandelions.
Really?
Those little dandelions, they hadn't busted out in that fuzz, and they was eating the leaves, and they was eating those dandelion leaves. Really like that.
Are y'all having mosquito problems right now? Because I've noticed we've had a lot of rain this spring, a lot. Like we've had over 10 inches of rain since January 1st, which is wet for us. And I haven't had no mosquitoes yet.
Well, I've been sitting here scratching this right here where I got bit yesterday.
So y'all are having a bad, they're bad where y'all are at this year.
Yeah, we just got them. We just got the damn things.
We have those buffalo gnats here. I got a bite on the back of my ear that is driving me crazy.
And then you go down in Florida and they got them, you can't even see them. They just, them no see them. They just eat you alive.
Yeah. That and chiggers.
And bite through your clothes, in your hair. They're horrible.
Yeah, gnats got me one year, and like it knots up on me, but like right where my hat brim is, they had gotten like under there, and like right where my face mask sits, I didn't even really feel them biting me, but I woke up the next day and it looked like somebody put a pop knot on my head. I had bites all over me. It looked like I had leprosy.
When's our next waterfowl party?
Probably at Squad Fest.
Squad Fest or Delta?
Squad Fest?
Yeah.
Squad Fest, St. Louis. It's a good time.
Squad Fest.
I need to go. Is Ray going to be there?
I think he usually goes to Squad Fest every year, and I think they're going to be at Delta. They'll probably be at both.
Hell yeah.
Ray's a lot of fun.
We'll have fun. We'll tear that town down too.
We always have a good time at Squad Fest. And the second night of Squad Fest is the night of the big fight. The Tyson
Jake Paul
fight is that Saturday night. I'm going to get a hold of Asher, and I hope I'm sure they're going to have something for that.
You think Tyson going to get him with that old man strength?
He said he ain't jacking around. If he's serious about it, he'd kill that dude, I hope. But then a guy told me the other day that he watched a documentary on Jake Paul, and he said, if you actually watch a documentary, you actually kind of like the guy.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Huh.
That's what Joe told me at baseball the other night. He said, if you watch that, he said, he's not as, you don't hate him as much as you think you would.
Yeah, I was telling some boys about that little tussle over there in Nashville on the street right there. I said, look, son, I ain't as good as I thought it was, but I'm good once as I ever was. I ain't as good as I thought it was.
One last blast. That's all you need sometimes.
Hell yeah. I remember myself as a mean MFer.
Yeah.
But I looked in the mirror and see them scars on my head, and I remember my daddy asked me, he said, son, you know how to block a punch? No, sir. just go in frailing.
Such a different world. This guy I'm friends with, Joe, was telling me about. He grew up. He's about, I'm gonna say 10 years older than me probably. And he was talking about they lived in Wichita Falls for a little bit, where I'm from. He said he had a brother of his got in a fight, and he said this kid whipped his brother's ass. And he said he come home and told his dad about it, and he goes, what'd you get your ass whooped for? He said, there's three of them. It wasn't a fair fight. He said, what? He goes, wasn't a fair fight. He said, well, all right, fuck that. We're going to leave. So he took him back down to that house, told that old guy, he said, listen, my boy got in a fight with your boy today and said it wasn't fair. And there was 3 or 4 on one. He said, I want him to fight fair. He said, okay. So walked out here 1-on-1. He said that kid whooped his brother's ass again. And his dad was so embarrassed. He said, God damn, I've never seen one of my boys get his ass whooped like that. But it was a fair fight too. So that kid just whooped him again. But just a whole different world. When the fight was over, that was the end of it.
Yeah.
We go down the road.
Man, I got to remember how old I am too, because you can push my buttons, I guess, but it's just like in Arkansas this year. We had some guys set up. It's snow goose hunting, and I'm hunting in a place that I hunt 7 days a week. It's an area we got land lease right there. We hunt it all the time. Well, they found a little 40 acres right there in between 3 pieces of property that we hunt, and we were set up on some birds that were roosted on our property. So, and I was watching from the road one day, and I kept seeing this truck watch our guys. So I pull up behind him, and from about 200 yards, and I'm talking to one of my partners on the phone. I said, I'm going to push his buttons. I'm going to pull on up there a little bit closer, see what he does. Well, he threw it in reverse. He come back there, and he was yelling and screaming and motherfucking me and this and that and other. I said, now, son, I've heard about all them motherfuckers I'm going to hear. And I said, ain't nobody cut you. I said, ain't nobody cut you off. I said, you just ain't got no damn land. I said, you're trying to hunt here where we hunt every day. And they're from Washington or somewhere down there doing that little snow goose chase that they do. And he got telling me how bad he was going to whip my ass. So, hell, I come out of the damn truck. And he had to leave. He ripped on down the road. But, I got thinking about that. There's a man, 35, 36 years old. Why, he tear me apart. Right. I got to be careful about that kind of stuff.
My dad was coming back from Fort Worth picking a dog up one time, and Dad was 65. How old was Dad when he died? He might have been 70. He was old. He was an old guy. Dad used to fight a lot. He was a big, big man. And he went into Walmart in Bowie, and he was walking in, and somebody hollered, "Hey, fuck you!" And the track deal. Those 2 guys were arguing, and Dad said, "Hey, you both shut the fuck up. I'll come over and slap a knot on your head." Dad said he walked in Walmart, and he said, started thinking about looking around in there, and he said, "Fuck, I'm too old for that shit. There's nobody else around or nothing." He said, "I dilly-dallied in Walmart about 15, 20 minutes longer than I normally did, walked out," and he said, "Thank God they had left already." Got in his truck and left. He goes, I'm too old to be smarting off like that anymore.
Your brain doesn't know it yet. It takes a minute to catch up. Like, fuck, did I just say that?
Yeah. We forget.
Now, a young person that's in their mid-30s, when an old 65-year-old man pops off, "I'm going to whip your ass," a lot of 35-year-old men are like, whoa.
He probably can.
Yeah. He might hurt me.
He's got the experience to where he's comfortable saying that.
An old man is scary because he's lived his life. He ain't got nothing to be scared of no more. Like,
no, I mean, and I meant business when I come out of the truck.
Yeah.
We had an old man that used to be in law enforcement out here threatened to kill somebody. And I told the guy that he threatened, I said, "You better watch it." I said, "That man's raised his family, his kids. He means it. And he ain't scared of going to prison for what little bit of life he has left." So just keep that in mind. An old man's a dangerous man. An old man with a gun that has nothing to live for is very dangerous.
That is true. That's why I think old Tyson's going to bust him up inside.
I hope he beats his ass.
I hope it's a good fight.
I hope he can't take a deep breath after that fight. I hope he go.
What's Tyson? 60? How old is Tyson?
57.
I don't know why I tried to put
He's 1 year older than me. Boy, I have definitely let myself go.
I've seen the training videos. It looks like he's taking it seriously, but a lot,
Man, it don't take but one of them punches that when he pops him in the damn kidney right there, and he's pissing blood.
Mm-hmm. It all goes back to just like you were talking about with the tuna fishing, the technique, the language within the language, and knowing how to move your body to give yourself the best opportunity to inflict the most amount of damage.
Did you hear Tyson talking
about Tyson has lived that.
Have you heard him talk about his son wanting to fight?
I think I have. He made fun of him, didn't he?
Yeah, his son come up and said, "Dad, I want to be a fighter." He goes, "What?" He goes, "I want to be a fighter." He started laughing. He goes, "No, you don't." "Well, yeah, I do." He said, "No." He goes, "You can't be a fighter." "Why?" He goes, "You're a pussy." He goes, you went to Europe and went to college. You've got a degree in college. You ain't got nothing about you that's a fighter." He goes, "To be a fighter, you got to be desperate, down on nothing left, and all you got is to fight to get ahead." He goes, "You were raised with fucking everything in the world given to you. You're a pussy. You're not a fighter." You know?
He's not. Yeah. He's not hungry.
No, he said genetically, yeah, you might be a pretty big sized guy, probably pretty quick, but you're going to get your ass beat by some guy off the street that's had to fight for everything he's had his entire life.
Those guys and those MMA fighters and stuff, that's a special breed, man.
Yeah. There ain't no country club kids fighting in the UFC. None.
Well, that's what Jay Paul is, him and his brother. That's them country club kids.
This guy told me when you watched the documentary on them, they had to work their way through it.
I'm sure
I don't think they grew up with a lot.
I'm sure there was a lot of hard work to get to where they are.
Oh, you have to be. You don't get to that fight even. But he fights people that are already done.
Now that is true.
But still, he's still a fighter. I mean, I wouldn't want to fight him. He'd whip my ass, but I'm not a fighter anyways.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I need none of that.
I can promise you I don't. I find a way to talk my way out of the shit. Now, for $1 million, my ass is getting in the ring with Tyson.
Oh, I'm gonna bite his nose off for $1 million.
Oh, I'll let that motherfucker hit me once and I'm done. But I'm gonna take my $1 million, and I'm gonna come out like I'm gonna fight him.
He doesn't look like they said he wasn't able to walk.
And that mad to kick in.
I don't know.
Right, and then pride starts getting in the way. I ain't going down on that.
I'm gonna go give it everything I got. But he's gonna beat my ass, but I'm gonna take my $1 million and go home and be happy as shit. And what's the disgrace of getting your ass whooped by Mike Tyson?
Right.
I mean, that's not a big deal at all. I mean, it's not like you're getting your ass whooped by Pee Wee Herman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you told somebody, who whooped your ass? Mike Tyson. Oh, hell, that motherfucker his ass whooped by Mike Tyson. That gives you some street cred just there that you're in a fight with the guy.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to it, though.
Anyways, I hope you come to Squad Fest. We always have a really good time there.
I believe I will. And then Ducks Unlimited is going to be where?
Memphis? That'll be in Memphis, but Delta will be the week after. We'll be at St. Louis one weekend. We'll be in Baton Rouge the next weekend at Delta. I know I'm going to try to hit that in Shreveport for the Delta. No, it's in Baton Rouge.
Ducks Unlimited in Memphis.
Baton Rouge.
Is
it?
Okay.
Ducks.
That's where they have the SRS is Shreveport. Yeah, the Super Retriever Series is there.
Yeah.
No,
I'll try to get down
our
there.
schedule will be at Delta. We'll be at Squad Fest one weekend. We'll be in Delta the next weekend. And there'll probably be something else we'll go to. We just don't know it yet. But there'll probably be something else coming up.
Okay. Andy, I'm going to send you a couple of links to some guys that build some trumpet calls.
Okay. Send them over.
And, man, they're game changers.
Okay, I'll try it out.
I mean, birds like them.
Huh.
Turkeys love them.
I'll give anything a try right now. I'm ready for some redemption. He gave me all I could handle this morning. He came out ahead, so I'll take all the curveballs I can throw at him.
Well, I enjoyed talking to y'all, man.
Thank you, Stacey. We'll see you in just a couple short months. It'll be here before we know it.
Yep.
Tell that pretty wife of yours, Jeff, to take care of herself.
Oh, she does.
See her down the road.
Oh, you want me to tell her to quit bitching at me so much? I'll tell her that, Stacey. I appreciate it. She got a new dog yesterday.
What'd she get?
She got a new Labradoodle named Amos. And
Amos.
And the deal was Amos Moses.
Amos
Moses.
Amos.
Amos Moses.
Amos.
What? Who names a dog Amos?
No, Amos.
Amos.
That's what I said, Amos.
No, not Anus, but Amos. But a new Labradoodle, and it's her dog. So I'm letting her do as much as I can possible with this because Ollie was her dog that somehow become my dog. So her and Amos Moses are going to do some bonding, but she's very busy with that. And then she's doing a bunch of baking, I guess, this week. But anyway, she's doing very well, and I will tell her that. She told me to tell you hello. She told me to tell you to get your passport so y'all can go with us to Mexico this summer.
I got to get that done, man. I got to get out of here for a while. And y'all going to have to fly over to Panama City now.
We talked about that too. We're going to Maine in the summer with the grandkids. We're going to go to Mexico with you if you come to Mexico, and then maybe in July we'll try to hit Panama City.
July, August, then let's see. When do y'all start?
September 1st.
September-ish
First.
for dove?
Yeah.
Yep. And then basically our next day off will be in February.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Other than going on our fall foliage tour. Stacey, my friend, you have a good day. Don't scream at that guy.
You too,
Don't
Bubba.
scream at that guy again.
Andy,
Yes, sir.
how's your boys doing in baseball?
They try hard.
Can he hit it out yet?
Not yet. It's the first year of kid pitch, and
Okay.
scores are about 15-14, and there's maybe 3 or 4 hits between both teams. So
Just keep working on the basics right now, man. Then it all comes together when they get about 15 years
all you
old.
got to do. That's what I'm trying. Plant the seed right now.
Love you,
See you,
boys.
bud.
See
Be
ya.
safe.
Stay in
See you
touch.
soon.
Bye-bye.
Good friend Stacey Coker. Good dude.
Yeah.
Really enjoy him. He's one of my favorite people I've ever met in the waterfowl business. One of my faves.
One of my faves. Just got a nice message from Maddie.
You got a nice baseball game ahead of you tonight, don't you?
I do. Yep. It'll be, like I said, about 15-12. I don't know which way it'll go, and there will be about 4 hits.
Well, if you can get a kid that can pitch at that deal and don't walk people, you
It's a
win.
game changer.
And it's hard to do that.
Yeah, what I've noticed in my very, very, very limited amount of coaching, they change everything from pitch to pitch, mechanic-wise.
Yeah, that's why when you get one that can pitch,
Right.
it's
Like they'll
game
hit a
changer.
strike, and you're like, all right, whatever you did, just do it again. Well, then they're changing their arm angle, and their steps shorter, and their body's different, and it's just, they're 10 years old.
I'd rather have a
9.
kid that doesn't throw hard but throws it across the plate all day long.
Yeah.
You'll win a whole lot of games because kids can't hit.
Right.
And I tell you one thing I do like about what y'all are doing with baseball is y'all don't have that stupid don't catch a third strike.
Drop third strike.
Girls softball games, third strike run.
Right.
Birds, balls in the dirt, they swing and then they run to first all the time. I'm like, gosh almighty.
Yeah. I don't know. There's I don't know. A lot of people are like, well, when are they just going to start playing baseball? I don't care.
You know, when I was a kid, we played kid pitch from 6 years old on.
Drop third strike though.
No, we didn't do that. You couldn't steal it when we were in the first little, which was, I think it was called Little League. Actually, it was in 6th and 7th. And then when I got to be 8 and 9, we could steal. Like I was a base stealing some bitch.
Right.
Like if I was on first base, I was on third.
Yeah.
But I understood what was going on. You get a kid that knows what the hell's going on and understands the game, makes a big difference too.
I was talking about that with my coaches. All the teams, you watch them, you can tell they don't watch baseball.
No, nobody watches baseball no more.
But and that's what I told my team after a game. I was like, y'all need to just turn on a baseball game, which, I don't even know how many of them have TV. Like, if it's not on the screen, they don't see it anymore.
How can you watch baseball anymore on TV? Like when we were growing up,
Sure, TBS probably doesn't.
I don't even know if the Braves
games
games are on anymore.
You could watch a Rangers game.
You can't unless you got Bally Sports now.
Oh, really?
It's really screwed up.
That's not on Fox
no,
Sports
that's what
1 or whatever?
No, Roland was telling me at church that we were talking about
No
that.
shit.
Yeah.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
and I don't know if the Braves are on TBS. I don't know.
I don't think they are.
I don't know if the Cubs are on WGN. I don't even know if we get WGN anymore.
I don't even have cable, so
But
I gave him advice that my son can't. But I've taken him to baseball games.
right. But when we were kids growing up, I could watch 3 different channels had baseball, and then Sunday night ESPN would have games a couple of nights
I
a week.
guess
not
you
just
could
Sunday.
on ESPN,
But-
I think ESPN has a game.
But you don't see it like it used to be everywhere.
Right.
But yeah, I think the Rangers, you got to watch Bally's to watch Ranger games.
I'll be damned. Unless it's going to be on like ESPN or something.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
All their home games are on Bally's, I think.
But I told him, I was like, you can just tell. Like, nobody watches baseball and they just don't understand.
They don't understand the game.
Like, I remember watching baseball and having a player that I wanted to emulate. And that's how, you kind of play the game.
The
You
kids
hop around and
But when
all that shit.
when I go to Little League games now, you can see the kid on there that actually understands the game.
right.
I mean, he stands out because he understands what's going on. Stanford's got a little girl that plays for them in softball the other night, and she freaking understood it all. I mean, she looked like a baseball player. She played first base. When she caught the ball like at first base, she was automatically running to go do something. I mean, she just knew the deal. And when she was on base,
Yeah.
fuck, she was a running fool. She knew, but she understood the game.
Mm-hmm. And so many of them, like, once they get the ball, they think the play's over. Or, they'll get him out at first. Well, you had a runner on second. Now you got to watch him because he's went to third. And now he's seeing what you're doing because he's about to come home. And it's just figuring it out, playing the game, and fucking up. That's the only way, is just get out there and be shitty at it for a while.
Baseball is a white yuppie sport now.
Yeah.
It really is.
But it's been fun. Kids have improved quite a bit.
It's been more enjoyable watching y'all play baseball than it was kid basketball.
Oh, yeah.
That was absolutely miserable. All right.
Not a basketball fan.
Thank y'all for listening to us. God bless y'all. We will have a Did You Know episode coming out next. Peace. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Watch for deer. Go check out all of our sponsors. Go check out Lucky Duck, Ducks Unlimited, Mallard Bay, Double T British Kennels, Mossberg, Stanfield Outfitters, Alpha Outdoor Specialties, Hemp Hill Farm. Use the promo code BHP. Looking Glass Podcast, Shin Gear, Dirty Duck Coffee, Dive Bomb Industries, MLR Graphics, Pacific Calls, BHP25 promo code there, and Boss Shot Shells.